FDA approval, when is it coming out? I've gotten a lot of questions about this lately. Nobody knows for sure because the FDA keeps their mouth shut about it. But there are some hints that I think it's going to be soon. And it would not surprise me if it would by the end of the month, first week of September time frame. Once it's FDA approved, it makes it easier for us a bit in our vaccine centers, primary care offices and such, to give the vaccine, and then we'll be able to get the immunocompromised people and vulnerable people who need 3 shots as part of their primary series. We'll be able to get them their 3rd shot. So I think it's not that far off. Why is it taking so long? I get asked that question for the full FDA approval. It's not because the vaccine's not efficacious, because it's very, very efficacious for severe disease, hospitalization, and death. And it's not because the vaccines aren't safe. We know a lot about these vaccines now, 350 million doses given in the United States, plus the data that we have from the clinical trials that got it the emergency use authorization in the first place. The reason why it's taking so long is because there's a certain process you have to go through to get a full FDA approval, and it has to be vetted by multiple groups with the full prescribing information from all docs and providers based on that review and the regulatory review. There's a lot of things in best practices in manufacturing that are worked out, so things that have to do with the factory that makes the vaccines, transportation for the vaccines, everybody gets involved, and it's a process. It's kind of a bureaucratic regulatory process, but it's an important one. And we do that for all medications, we do it for all vaccines, and we do it for all tests. So Nate, I remind you that every single medicine right now that's new that we're using for COVID, including remdesivir and monoclonal antibodies, is still on an emergency use authorization. And that every single test we're using to test people, so when that swab goes in your nose, goes off to the lab, that test is an emergency use authorization. So it's going to take some while to catch up for all these things with the FDA.